Greece is under a new onslaught of natural disaster. The death toll from catastrophic flooding in Greece has risen to 6. In the morning, residents of several areas in Karditsa in southwestern Thessaly were forced to take refuge on the roofs of their homes to escape the water. In some regions, the precipitation in 12 hours was twice the annual average for Athens. According to the latest data, 6 more people are still missing, and hundreds have been rescued. The Greek government is declaring this an unprecedented natural phenomenon in the country's history. For evacuation purposes, tracked vehicles and boats are being used, but due to the large amount of debris and the strength of the water flows, boats could not reach some areas. At least 3 populated areas in central Greece remain cut off from the outside world. Rescuers have managed to resume helicopter movement, which was previously hindered by frequent lightning strikes. The police have banned traffic in 3 regions, including the island of Skiathos, and sent numerous emergency phone messages to residents of several regions of the country, asking them not to go outside and to leave basements and ground floors of buildings. According to forecasts, the storm is expected to gradually weaken starting Thursday evening. Heavy rains also hit the Greek capital, flooding streets and turning part of the main avenue in downtown Athens into a river of mud, sweeping people off their feet. The severe weather conditions have prompted urgent responses from both local authorities and international aid organizations. Schools and businesses in the affected areas have been closed, and emergency shelters have been established for those who have been displaced. Rescue teams, including volunteers and professionals, are tirelessly working to provide assistance. They are facing challenges due to the continuous downpour and the risk of landslides, particularly in hilly regions. Medical teams are also on the ground, providing care to the injured and ensuring the well-being of those affected by the floods. The government has pledged significant funds for the reconstruction of the damaged areas. Engineers and construction crews are being mobilized to repair roads, bridges, and critical infrastructure. There's a focus on restoring electricity and water supply to the areas that have been without these basic services since the flooding began. The international community has expressed solidarity with Greece, offering financial aid and technical support to help with the recovery efforts. Environmental experts are also joining the effort, analyzing the situation to understand the impact of climate change on such extreme weather events and advising on future preventive measures. As the country braces for the storm's aftermath, there's a collective sense of determination to rebuild and recover. The resilience of the Greek people is evident as communities come together to support each other in these challenging times. The situation, however, remains dynamic and challenging. Meteorologists warn of possible secondary effects, such as contaminated water sources and increased risk of infectious diseases in the flooded areas. Authorities are urging citizens to follow health and safety guidelines to prevent outbreaks. The focus is also shifting towards long-term recovery and resilience building. The government, in collaboration with environmental experts, is planning to implement more robust flood defense systems. This includes the construction of new drainage systems and the reinforcement of riverbanks to mitigate the impact of future floods. In the wake of the disaster, there has been a surge in community-led initiatives. Local groups are organizing cleanup operations, food drives, and fundraising events to support the affected families. These grassroots efforts are complementing the official response, showcasing the strong community spirit and solidarity in Greece. Internationally, the crisis in Greece has reignited discussions about climate change and its increasing impact on weather patterns. Experts are calling for more aggressive global actions to address climate change, emphasizing the need for sustainable development practices and stronger environmental policies. As the floodwaters recede, the true extent of the damage becomes more apparent. But amidst the devastation, there is hope and a sense of purpose. Greece, with support from its citizens and the international community, is set on a path of recovery and resilience, ready to face future challenges with renewed strength and preparedness. In the aftermath, cultural and historical sites in Greece have also been assessed for damage. The country's rich heritage makes this a critical part of the recovery process. International experts in restoration and preservation are being consulted to ensure that these sites are properly restored and protected against future environmental threats. Simultaneously, mental health support is being ramped up for those affected by the floods. Psychologists and counselors are working in the field, recognizing that the trauma of such events can have long-lasting effects on individuals and communities. Special attention is being given to children and the elderly, who are often the most vulnerable in such situations. The agricultural sector, a key part of Greece's economy, has also suffered significant losses. The government is implementing special programs to support farmers and fishermen, helping them to rebuild their livelihoods. This includes financial aid, provision of new equipment, and technical assistance to adapt to more sustainable and resilient farming practices. On the international front, Greece's crisis has led to renewed calls for stronger global cooperation in dealing with natural disasters. Countries are sharing knowledge and resources, understanding that climate change is a global issue that requires collective action. As recovery efforts continue, there is a sense of cautious optimism. The crisis has brought to light the importance of preparedness, community, and international cooperation. It has shown that even in the face of great adversity, humanity can come together to support each other and rebuild stronger than before. The path ahead for Greece is challenging, but the resilience and solidarity demonstrated give hope for a brighter, more resilient future.